I've had a great time at this Australian Plant Conservation Conference. It's the first one I've been to. I've wanted to come to one for more than a decade. It's fabulous to see these experts, the science, but also highlights the fact that, you know, we have 1,400 threatened plant species. These are the people who are trying to save them. They're using expert knowledge. They just need more help from government, more help from philanthropy, and a lot more resources, and we can save all those species.
I've really enjoyed my sort of homecoming back to Toowoomba and the Darling Downs where I grew up, and just loved being here and hearing about the diversity of all these amazing projects going on right across Australia, and particularly right here in our own backyard with the Bunya People's Aboriginal Corporation, and heaps of cool stuff. It's been amazing.
40 minutes since the conference closed and people are still hanging around talking to each other. One of the nice things about these APCC conferences is they bring people together from right across the plant conservation scene. And we've had 3 days of basically information exchange, but at a level that's been accessible, I think, for people from different sectors, so researchers, land managers, practitioners, restoration people, and all of that. So this kind of conference is just a brilliant way of gaining contacts and information, and that will help us network into the future.
Brad and I'm going to speak on behalf of Brad and I from the partnership. We love coming to these conferences because we actually get to meet a lot of the people that we are working with online a lot of the time, but we also get to see them present the science and research they're doing. There's such a rich tapestry. We had people from the Kimberley, North Queensland. We virtually got a bit of a picture of what was happening continentally. And from our point of view as well, it gives us ideas about future priorities for the Seed Bank Partnership as well, where some of the gaps and needs are, where some of the knowledge is, and that's going to be so beneficial for our planning as we go forward as well.
Wow, what a conference. What an amazing energy, what incredible people on the forefront of science, working hard to showcase just how important our Australian plants are, and not only how important they are, but how important it is to look after them and protect them and help them flourish into the future. Create pathways into science, create engagement and excitement about the work that they're doing. I've met amazing people. I've learned so much. There's some really hard and difficult science that needs to be explained and passed on to people, and then there's the real interesting and fun stuff that's bringing people in and making them lean forward.
This week's been really cool because here at the conference it's brought together everyone for plant conservation, and rather than having to filter through the program and find the ones on plants, it's all been on plants. So that's been really cool, and just meeting everyone from all the different states, and it was pretty cool meeting all the people that wrote all the papers I've been reading. So yeah, it's been fantastic and an amazing way to get to know all of the research that's currently happening around Australia.
So I had a really great experience here at the APCC conference. This is the first one I've actually been to, so it was a fantastic experience for me to connect up with a whole lot of experts in the practice of threatened plant conservation, as well as all of the scientists who are producing the research. And what I've taken away from this is a lot of new relationships, new collaborative relationships with people who are working on threatened plants in other parts of the country. I've learnt some new approaches and some potential new funding sources for the conservation work that we're all aiming to do, but most importantly I've made some new friends.
I've been a member for a while. I'm from WA, so it's not always been easy to connect. But this was such a great networking conference. I met many people who were interested in the same subject that I was, and it's not necessarily the bulk conversation about conservation techniques, where I'm more of an advocate, but I was able to pick up a lot of advocacy type tips from other experts in the room, how to promote ourselves, how to promote the environment, promote conservation, promote plants. So I've had a wonderful time, met wonderful people, and I think I've also contributed by some of my probing questions and maybe answers and general enthusiasm. So I think it's been a very worthwhile visit, and I'm looking forward to coming to the next one.
What I will take back is that there's some really fantastic and amazing work being done on the genetic diversity of species that I really was completely unaware of, and I'm really pleased to find and get to know some of the people who are doing that work, and I think it could be quite relevant to the work that we've got going in Southern Queensland landscapes.
Fantastic APCC14, wonderful conference. Really enjoyed working with people here, meeting people, all the latest discussions on threatened plant conservation and science. Really looking forward to what we can take to community groups across the state in terms of advancing the Queensland Threatened Plant Network.
Alright, the APCC conference has been great to collaborate with other peers, in particular in government and research, and bring together a range of programs and meet other professionals working in the similar or same field as us.
I think it's been great to see all the amazing projects that are happening in plant conservation all across Australia. So many dedicated people who are dedicated to their species and dedicated to their ecosystems. I found it really inspiring, the people who are working on threats, whether that's myrtle rust or dieback or mega fires, how they remain hopeful in the face of adversity. I think that's really inspirational. I also really liked all of the talks about people involving volunteers, and how we can get government and policy to listen and take up the fascinating science that's happening all across Australia.
Well, I guess I've just spoken to a whole bunch of people in the last 10 to 15 minutes, and very, very positive is the view coming out of it, and it looks like we might get some corporate members. Plant Propagators Society, Eddie said that they're really keen, or he's really keen and interested to get them to be part of us. I think the idea of databases has been fantastic, setting up something which we could do online. The talks were inspiring in many cases for me. And the workshop I did just recently with Jana and Hugh Possingham was fantastic. I learned an awful lot from it, and as I said, I wish I'd been there 30 years ago to learn how to deal with the media rather than now, at the end of my career. So I guess for me, the talks have been really, really good, really productive, really interesting, very positive. Plant conservation is looking good, and hopefully we can improve on that.